When Americans think of potatoes, what usually comes to mind is French fries, potato chips, or the mashed potatoes and gravy at Thanksgiving. Most wouldn't think of the Japanese Issei farming king, George Shima. He made a fortune from growing potatoes and became the first Japanese American millionaire. Born Kenji Ushijima, he was born in 1864 in a town in Japan called Kurume, just outside of Fukuoka on the island of Kyushu. After unsuccessfully gaining entrance to the Tokyo Commercial School, now Hitotsubashi University, due to failing to pass the English language examination requirement, he was inspired to travel to the United States to learn English. After he immigrated to America in 1889, he took the name George Shima. Shima moved into the Stockton-Sacramento area to work as a farm laborer, one of the few jobs available to him. Amongst his fellow potato pickers, he became known for his speed and efficiency. He smelled an opportunity when he saw the Americans' love for potatoes was as strong as Japanese for rice. So how did Shima, a so-called Jap and alien, find the guts to even try to own farmland in a white America landscape?
If I can outpick Americans, I can outgrow them.
At age 27, Shima bought a potato farm with his friends. Shima experienced failures like any other farmer, but he worked harder and smarter. To reach a higher quality product, he was the first to wash his potatoes before shipping and the first to grade potatoes, selecting only the best to sell.
When I came here from Japan, I was a laborer. I began to study books, talk to farmers, and learn about growing things. I got some delta land and started pumping water off. I got the land too dry and the frost got them. I pumped some water back, and after 3 years, I got the crop. But the potatoes weren't the best. One day, I noticed that cucumbers and watermelon blossoming in the same field grew to taste the same. This gave me an idea. Why couldn't I blend potatoes? I got some long Oregon potatoes and some round California ones and grew them together. And from that seed, I got the variety which brings 25 cents more than any other produce on the market.
In the early 20th century, anti-Japanese rhetoric started to gain momentum and eventually found its way to Shima. Jealous of his success, white farmers accused him of a monopoly, ignoring the fact that non-white farmers dared not to compete in the white-dominated potato market.
I'm not a monopolist. I only work harder than the rest.
He immediately amassed a great fortune and land empire, and in 1909 he became known as the Potato King. In 1906, his worth was $18 million, which in today's dollars is about $3.9 billion. Let's put that in perspective. In 1905, a dollar can buy 58 pounds of potatoes, 7 pounds of steak, and 3.5 gallons of milk. By 1920, it has been said that Shima was producing 85% of California's potatoes. Also in 1909, Shima moved to an affluent neighborhood in Berkeley. That caused quite an uproar. Many neighbors were worried about their children playing with the Shima children. George Shima sarcastically commented to a newspaper reporter that,
"My neighbors should not worry since I'm putting up a high fence to keep other children from playing with my children."
Eventually, white Americans felt so threatened by the Japanese farming success, they passed the California Alien Land Law of 1913, which stripped Japanese immigrants or aliens ineligible for citizenship of the right to own land. Because of the anti-Japanese sentiment leading to these laws in California, he created and became president of the Japanese Association of America to help bring voice and fight for the rights of Japanese immigrants like him to have their share in the American dream. How could an immigrant become a true citizen without the right to plant one's roots in the earth? In letters to California's governor, Shima wrote,
"The lands owned by the Japanese are only 11,000 acres. What a small acreage they have in this state. Speaking of the vast area of California, it may be well to say that no Japanese have land in California."
No one listened to his letters. The California Alien Act of 1913 and the subsequent California Alien Land Law of 1920 dismantled his fortune. He eventually became disenfranchised with the anti-Japanese sentiment in America and intended to go back to Japan. Unfortunately, during a business trip in the month of March of 1927, he had a stroke and passed away of complications soon thereafter. To this day, his name still appears, like in an area in the Stockton Delta called the Shima Track. His name and contribution is honored at a campus building at the Delta College, and much of the farmable islands in the Delta today can be accredited to Shima's determination and desire.